Begin again. Welcome back to Two Cents. It's your host, Ludwig Perpenhente. I hope you're having a wonderful day, afternoon, evening, and good night. Oh, and if you're wondering what just dropped, that was a, a, a paintbrush trying to clean something as I talk. And speaking of cleaning, I hope that if you are cleaning something, you're doing a really good job at it. I don't know if you're doing something as you listen to this or not, but I just want you to know that you're probably doing a very good job, and that's about it. Speaking of job, I am not very, committed to the whole one video per week lately because of forces outside of my control. Uh, it had recently occurred to me that our journalism club finally started to write something. And the problem is, I'm, a journalist, so kind of have to write. And yeah, that's what I did last week. I'm really sorry that I didn't get to, upload another video, even though I promised there'd be like two that week. I'm not very good at keeping promises, I'll just tell you that now. I don't know why that's the case, but it just is, and I do hope that you forgive me or something. I don't know you, but maybe you kind of hold a grudge for my inconsistency, since I know a lot of people get a kick from that, but other than that, yeah, I'm really sorry that I'm very inconsistent, even if, all I do is talk. It's very easy to do, but the problem is sometimes I don't have the time to do it. Yeah, that is a very huge deal. And now that we're on the topic of, forces outside of our control, let's get into the topic of today's video, I think. First topic, there's going to be more, but the first topic would be giving up. I know a lot of us have given up or are giving up. It could be anything. It could be you giving up trying to achieve something, you giving up on someone, on a relationship, on a friend, on a family member, or what have you. And to that end, I can understand where you're coming from. Uh, in life, you kind of have to give up a lot of things. You could give up your free time to get more payment for your job. You could give up working and pursue your own whatever have you at the risk of, going broke. You could give up on someone in hopes that you'd find someone else, or give up on the idea as a whole. And usually you should get something in return. It could be good, but it could also be very bad. And to me, giving up is, I don't know how to put it, but to me, giving up is really strange. I find a lot of things in life very strange, and giving up is one of them, because sometimes I'd say, I've given up on doing this thing. I will no longer do it, even if people hate me for not doing it. Or I've already given up on doing that thing since I feel like it's a waste of effort. And yet, given a few months, days, hours, seconds time, I'd be back at doing it as if nothing happened. And it's a vicious cycle that keeps on repeating itself. I give up on this thing and then come back to it with a fresh pair of eyes, I guess, or a fresh pair of experiences. But yeah, it's really weird. In it, sometimes you give up, but you don't really give up. You kind of just take a break or whatnot. It's not essentially that you're surrendering, it's more like you're holding a truce fire of sorts, like the Christmas truce of World War One, where you kind of just want to take a break from doing this, or take a break from it permanently. depends on person to person. Some people don't give up as easily, while others fall even if like a gust of wind just hits them. And yeah, to those people, I don't really know much to say since I kind of am at their side. I find a lot of things very hard, and when I find things very hard, I either never do it at all or just quit because there's absolutely no point in continuing. But yeah, I'd say giving up is a very hard topic to discuss since one, I'm not a philosopher, I'm just some random jackass on the internet trying to ride on his high horse and pretend that I'm better than everyone by talking to this stupid phone about my stupid opinions about stupid things that no one really cares about. And occasionally I tackle on things such as drama here, drama there, drama wherever, or anything really, but yeah, I got fucking sidetracked with self-deprecating there. Oh, jeez. Anyway, giving up is, not really a thing I'd like to discuss since I don't feel like I'm over or even qualified enough to, discuss about the philosophies of giving up, the benefits of giving up, and whatnot. But if I were to offer my 2 cent opinion, finally did it. I said the thing. If I were to offer my 2 cent opinion, I think giving up is bad. Well, not really. If you take a break, that's fine. But if you give up completely, that's not good. Life is inherently hard, and for you to give up means you're just going to be how would I put this in a manner that's not very condescending? You'd be sand to the shores of history, being washed away by its tide, if you get what I mean. Yeah, although maybe it doesn't really matter if you're just that sand to the sand gushed away by the tides of time, since life doesn't really have meaning. And for most people, they don't find that very good. Like, for most people, they continue to find meaning in eternal meaninglessness. There's no meaning to life. We kind of just exist in this big void of nothing. The only life we know of is us. That kind of makes us lonely, is it not? Because if you think about it, if we're the only people in the world, that's really sad. 7 or 8 billion is nothing to infinity's face. It's a grain of salt in a vast emptiness, or a grain of salt in essentially a salt mound or a salt mine. Either way, life doesn't have meaning. And there's three ways you can deal with that fact. Embrace the meaninglessness and become nothing. As in, you kind of just accept the fact life's meaningless and you become a doomer. Uh, People that kind of just say that everything is going to be bad, and that's realistic thinking because everything had gone bad. And that's stupid. And yeah, the second way to tackle the whole life has no meaning is you to create the meaning for yourself. It could be the meaning of life is to serve, or the meaning of life is to be free, or the meaning of life is to define what the meaning is. It doesn't really matter. What only matters is what definition helps you sleep at night. And the third way is life has no meaning, and that's what makes it fun. humans need not to identify what the meaning of life is if they can live a life that doesn't have meaning to begin with. They could live a bad life with no meaning or a good life without meaning. Uh, those schools of thought are nihilism, existentialism, and absurdism. And to an extent, you can pretty much believe in all three of those simultaneously since they're not mutually exclusive. They all share the common thing in that life has no meaning. And I'm going to offer yet another 2 cent opinion on this. I think life has no meaning, and that's what makes it fun. You're not necessarily bound by anything. You can define life however you'd like it. You can define life in an experience of eating an Oreo, or you could define life into becoming the greatest man known to man. The possibilities of a meaningless life is greater if than compared to life with a predefined meaning. If you don't understand what I'm saying here, I'm saying life has no meaning and who gives a shit? That's the point. I think that's the point. If life has any meaning, like say, if life is defined to everyone as to simply exist, then that's kind of boring, isn't it? Because, like, if your life is just to exist, that doesn't really offer anything. It's very vague. Can you do anything? Or you can just exist in a big blob of nothing. And the more you dwell on trying to define life for everyone, the more you'll find it to be very hard or simply fruitless to begin with. Because trying to find the meaning of life is a big waste of time, not just for you, not just for me, but for everyone else. To define the meaning of life, you have to be philosophical. Not many people are, not many people want to. And yeah, that's kind of a problem if you want to define the meaning of life. So, what I'm trying to say here is please stop trying to define life for everyone else. Define life if you want to. If it what's help you sleep at night, sure, I don't mind. But please bear in mind, not many people would care. And that might be good because you can define the meaning of life for your own, or it could be bad because that means no one's going to listen to you, whatever you're saying. Kind of like right now. I'm talking to a big black phone, and that's it. No one's listening to these. No one can listen, and no one will listen. But does it matter? Fuck no. Nothing matters. And that's the beauty of it. If nothing has meaning, that means everything has meaning. And dear God, I just realized I've gotten way too philosophical. Uh, my apologies. I'm really trying my best not to sound like a pretentious asshole, but kind of just keeps coming. Maybe it's a trait of mine, and maybe my self-awareness of it makes it a whole lot worse. And that means you get to notice it too, and you get to complain about it. Maybe this whole 2 cents thing was a bad idea, but good things can come from bad ideas. Uh, some people keep trying to defy the odds, and what would you know? Them defying the odds gives us much leeway as to what we could do. For instance, no one knew you could split an atom, but Enrico Fermi did it by mistake, and so people tried messing with it. It was really fun, and we created bombs that killed a lot of people. Though it did end the war in some case, but yeah, bad things can come from good ideas, but good things can come from bad ideas too. There's not really a definition on good or bad idea. Now, if you think about it, any idea can be a good idea. Like, I will eat this cake. Out of context, that's a good idea. No one's really stopping you from eating the cake, and who knows, the cake might be delicious. The downside is it could be a bad idea, since maybe the cake's poisoned, or maybe you're fat and wanting to decrease your weight, and you want to eat cake, which is very bad. But hey, you wouldn't know until you, well, eat the cake. It's all up to intuition and motivation and beliefs and what have you. If you think you deserve to eat a cake, sure. After, like, I don't know, an exercise, like maybe after a week or what have you, but I wouldn't judge and I wouldn't care. Because one, I don't know you. Two, you don't know me. Even if I did know you, I still won't care because it's you. Well, I'm not saying that I don't care about you. It's just that even if I did, you're still the one controlling your body, not me. I'm just saying things. And, and speaking of saying things, I suppose that's the end of our little session of me saying things. Uh, really hope you're listening to this one, even though it got a little bit philosophical in the end, and you know the drill. Whatchamacallit? I'm going to make another one of these next week, if not, then the next week. And that's about it. Uh, Before we go, you know the saying, to begin again is to let go. I need to talk about the meaning behind that saying someday, but until that day, this is Ludwig Perpenhente. Ciao.